Well, I think our guys got off to a good start tonight. We beat a team that we knew would be very difficult to play against, a team that presses for 40 minutes, an unusual style. And I thought it was great for our guys. You know, with 10 new players, there's a lot that we had to learn about our players in that type of situation. And I thought for the first 25 minutes, we played about as good as we could play. And then the last 15 minutes, you know, true to form for who they are, FIU, they're going to keep going. They're going to keep playing for 40 minutes, and they did. They turned us over quite a bit. You know, we ended up with 18 turnovers. So those are things we have to work on to improve. But the only way you can, you know, learn that is to be in those situations. And I think we'll benefit from that as we go through the season.
So how do you think they handled the press overall? You talked about areas to improve. How would you assess for a first game?
I thought for first game we handled the press fairly well, especially the first 25 minutes. I think in the first half we may have had like 10 or 12 assists and I think five turnovers. I think in the second half when we accumulated a lot more turnovers. And that was us just, you know, one, I'll give them credit for how hard they play, and it seems like it's 6, 7 guys on the floor when it's really only 5. And the other is just our execution. You know, we have to be better at setting up and running the things that we want to run. And I didn't think we did that on a lot of their made baskets. And so we have to be better at getting organized, and that's where our guards got to take the lead in that situation. And so we'll look at that over these next few days and look to make improvements.
Coach, great win. Many new guys playing on the court together for the first time in a real game. Do you think some of that was a translation of the result of so many turnovers, or was it just a miscommunication?
Well, I always give the other team credit for how hard they played, and they made a lot of plays. They had active hands. They were quick. They were in passing lanes. They made some good plays for us. And on the other side of that, absolutely, you're absolutely correct. You know, you have a lot of guys for the first time playing in front of a crowd. You know, we've played closed-door scrimmages, but it's just us in there against the other team. So I think all those things, you know, play a factor in what's going on out there. But I thought our guys, for the most part, played well. You know, guys that I really complimented. Of course, Jaylin Sellers, I thought was terrific out there, you know, throughout the night. Made a lot of plays for us, as well as I thought Shamari. His numbers may not show it, but I thought he was a catalyst for us. He, you know, rebounding, passing the basketball. He defended the other guards, you know, the other guard that was really good, Dean. I thought he did a great job guarding him. He was one of the leading scorers from last year. So he did a lot of things that may not show up in the box score that, you know, coaches love to see. And so I'm happy for how he played for us.
Johnny, these two guys, did you like the chemistry and the communication that you saw on the court throughout the evening?
You know, I thought it was pretty good, except for the last 15 minutes. I thought we kind of broke down. I thought the first 25 minutes, I thought the communication was good. Our guards were getting us into things we wanted to get into, and we were running it fairly well. I thought the last 15 minutes we got a little out of character. We started running the press break that we had designed to run against this team, and actually went to another press break, you know, but that didn't come from us. You know, I think they kind of just thought they could just run it, and no, you have to get set up a certain way to be able to attack their press and attack their pressure. And when we got away from that, I think it got us out of sync a little bit. So these are things we're going to clean up. Like they meant well by you know, changing up the press break, but they have to understand that, you know, that's a call we're going to make on the sideline, and then their job is to follow that and execute. And so that's what we have to work on, that communication.
Johnny, a little disappointing, obviously, C.J. Walker, the news of C.J. Walker missing some time. What can you say about that, and what, you know, when do you think you might be able to get a chance to get him back on the court?
Well, we're going to miss C.J. C.J. was, you know, doing a terrific job for us this summer and this fall. And I feel my heart goes out to CJ, you know, first and foremost, because I've known what he's gone through the last 3 years. I mean, that's tough. I mean, I've been in a position where I've been injured, you know, multiple years out for, you know, extended period of time during different seasons. That's tough mentally for any person who loves this game. And so first, my heart goes out to him. You know, I'm excited and I'm encouraged that it's something that's not going to, you know, be a season-ending injury. That's a positive. You know, he has to continue to, you know, rehab and get himself back, you know, together. But I don't know a timetable, so I don't want to, you know, put something false out. But, you know, I don't think it's a season-ending injury, so it's a matter of him just continuing to improve, you know, daily. And we hope to see him to get back on the court as soon as he's healthy enough to contribute.
Contact injury, or what happened to him?
It was in like a closed-door scrimmage. So it was in our last closed-door scrimmage. You know, he went out with about 1:50, 1:45 to go in the game. You know, very little contact, and it just maybe a misstep or something, and then, you know, came up hobbled. And when he was hobbling, we said, hey, you know what, let's not chance it. let's take him out the game. It's a minute and 45 or so to go. Just take him out, and then he should be okay. And everything we thought he would be. And then as he got seen, which was recent, MRI and then being seen yesterday, that's when we knew that hey, something may need to be done. And so I think our medical team did a great job. They always do a good job with our guys. And so now it's just a function of him just following their instructions. Once he's able to start rehab it hard, and then make his return, which we'll be excited to get him back whenever that happens.
So surgery?
Yes.
Is it something in his knee?
Yes.
Talk a little bit more about Jaylin Zeller's performance tonight. 23 points. I think he was one off from tying his career high record. Just how would you describe his performance tonight?
I thought he did a really good job. Not even scoring. I mean, we know he can put the ball in the basket, and I think he showed some of that tonight. But the thing I thought that he did really well was, he played a complete game. I thought he defended on the ball well when he was in position to defend, and I thought he did a good job of getting to the boards for us as well. I've been challenging him on getting to the boards more, and I like to see him doing that. And I think he's active. He has good instincts for where the ball's going to go, and I thought he made some good plays for us there. So to complement his scoring was also, I thought his defense was really good as well as his rebounding. 11
players see action tonight. Was just that by design, just to see how guys play when the lights come on and kind of figure out that rotation?
Absolutely. Some of the things you're going to learn, like you just said, when the lights come on. And I thought our guys all throughout the summer and the fall were really doing a good job, and they still are. You just see different guys are stepping up in this situation, like a Tyler Hendricks, for instance. It was really good to see him, the way he played, tonight. I thought he had a good floor game as well. Rebounding, defending, he handled the ball, he was solid with the ball. So these are things that we're looking at with our younger guys, and we played with about 3 or 4 freshmen. So they got, quality minutes against a good team, a team that presses, which is a hard team to play against. So I think that they'll benefit from that as they, as their careers, go forward.
Another guy you're going to be without for a while is Antoine. What was your reaction to learning about him and the eligibility issue?
Disappointed, but I understand. I mean, it's just it's a tough process to go through. I'm disappointed for him. I mean, he sat out last year for the most part, and he's sitting out again, part of this year. That's hard on a young person. I mean, something that you love to do, you've been playing all your life, and then you're being, put in a position where you're sitting out multiple years and extended periods of time. That's hard. So for me, we want to keep him encouraged, keep him working, keep him trying to get better, and then when December comes around, because he's the second semester, he'll be eligible to play second semester. So when that comes around, he'll be able to start, playing with us. So he's not out for the entire year, which is a good thing.
Marcellus Avery, is he in a similar situation, or
well, his situation is a little bit different. Welcome to the new world, right? His situation is a little different. He is in a position where, we filed a waiver for him. The waiver was denied, so we're appealing that, of course. So now they're going through that process, and then we'll see where we are. Another young man that was out, their season got cut short last year. No fault of his. He wasn't involved in any of the things that occurred. So he sits out, and then now he'll be a first-time transfer, and so he's sitting out potentially again. So it's tough, and it's tough for him. He sat out pretty much all of last season from January on, and now you could potentially sit out all again this year, and you can be a first-time transfer. So, we'll see what happens. Like I said, we're appealing it, and hopefully, we'll get some favorable news. But again, I feel sorry for these young people who invest all the time that they invest in the sport, and, to really through no fault of their own, and they're in a position where they can't get out there and do something they love to do.
And these are some guys that you were planning on being a big part of your team. What's the impact on your roster now?
Well, it definitely impacts us because they're 2 of our more experienced players. Antoine will be in his last year, and Marcellus is a junior. And so hence we're playing a lot of freshmen. And that's fine. I think these guys are doing a good job, and they're developing, they learn our system, but they don't have the experience that those other players have. They don't have the physicality, the size, as well. Things that, we were counting on having. We're missing some right now, but, it's not over. We're still, running that race, with both of those young men. We do know Antoine, barring anything health-wise, will be able to join us, in the near future, as well as, hopefully we can get some good news on Marcellus Avery. But that's, we'll see.
If Marcellus is a first-time transfer, what's the issue? Did he not enter the portal at the right time? Or?
Well, he entered the portal, but he didn't enter it. He didn't enter the portal the right way. Because he wasn't allowed to be on campus. He wasn't allowed to have any communication with the staff because of all the things that happened. If you have followed, just read up on
something came out today.
State.
That was pretty bad. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he couldn't anything. So with that, he was put in a position where, being told that, and he didn't have counsel people around him saying, hey, this is how you go enter the portal. So what he did was he tweeted it out, thanking New Mexico State for everything that they had done, and it was great. I mean, I had actually seen it. It's dated. It's tweeted, so you can always look it up to see if it's authentic,
right.
Which it is. Thanking everybody. He knew he wasn't coming back because everybody had been kicked off the team, and they said don't communicate with the coaches or anyone else. So what do? So now you do that, and now because of that you didn't enter in time, and so you're stuck for another year, and you just set out a lot of last year, and you're gonna set out this year, and you're a first-time transfer, and you couldn't go back there and play because they weren't welcome back to go there. So what are you supposed to do? Just you have to go somewhere. You're not going to just end your career, right? So I'm just hopeful that they'll see that side of it and understand that this, to me, is pretty straightforward. It has nothing to do with anything other than he was told a certain thing. He honored it, and I would think if you would ask those people, that administration, I'm sure they would, confirm that without any, problem. So I don't see why, his situation has been so difficult to solve.
What's the appeal then? What is the nature of the appeal then in that case?
Just continuing more information that they may be seeking from, different people in the administration, things that they may be seeking, they want to hear from. I just hope when they hear from it, they take it serious, because you can get all the information and the people can say the things that are actually correct, but that doesn't mean they have to take it serious. So we'll see.
Hopeful?
I'm definitely hopeful, because I think the young man should be playing. I don't see no real reason why he should not be able to play. I'm just disappointed he couldn't even play in our first game, because the situation, he sat out most of last year through no fault of his own. To me, quite frank, everybody on that team should be eligible, to be frank. I mean, that's just my take on it based on what happened. Because what happened was they got, ended their season for things that he had nothing. You'll look him up, he has nothing to do with any of that. So why are we going to hurt this young man because he didn't get something on a date, but he was told not to talk to any coaches or anybody on the campus? I don't really understand that one personally.
Last week you said you were hoping that a lot of fans were going to come out to see this game. How would you describe the crowd tonight?
I thought we had a good crowd. I'm always looking at the student section, because to me, on the college campus, that's what makes it go. Their energy, their enthusiasm, and I thought the student section had a really good crowd over there, for our first game. So I think we'll build on that. I think our student athletes didn't disappoint. I think they came out and gave a great effort. They saw them there and they honored them by how hard they played, and that's what you want to see.
Speaking about the student section, Jaylin Sellers had a big time highlight play. They got the crowd out of their seats. Are you going to advise him to keep going for those, or are you going to tell him?
Well, no, I want Jaylin to be Jaylin. Jaylin plays with a lot of spirit. He's one of those players that plays with a lot of passion. As you can see on both sides of the basketball, he gives you great energy and effort every time he's on the floor. So that's what I'm going to continue to see him be himself. Everybody's different personality, so his personality is he's fiery, he wants to get after it. Hey, I'm a roll with that, because I think it helps our team. Guys feed off of it. I thought the crowd fed off of it, and so that's a good thing for us.
You talked about young guys standing out. You had Niels. He flashed some potential as a ball handler. Had 2 turnovers though. What'd you like out of his game?
I thought it's a great game for him. Niels, a great game. He's coming from overseas. He's played the point over there, but every country has a different style of play, and I think he faced a style today that was probably a style he hadn't really seen before, and that's being pressed for the whole game. And so that means every single possession you have to be, ready and alert to make the right play. And so I thought he got caught a couple of times when he was a little bit of a freshman. He didn't see what was coming, defensively, how they set him up. But he'll learn from that. That's the only way you can grow, is to get thrown into that fire and figure it out. And he's a good enough player where he's going to figure that out. He's going to be a better basketball player for it.
Speaking about size, you got 3 guys on the team: Daniel Silo, Ibrahim Diallo, and Omar Payne, who make a great impact. Do you want to speak on them some more?
No question. I think, Omar did a really good job for us. He held down the center position for us. They're long and they're athletic. I think with Seth down there, Seth is probably 7'1", the center for them, and he's mobile. And I thought Omar did a really good job of playing him. He got in a little foul trouble, which hurt us a little bit. And then what was the other gentleman? You talking about Ibrahima.
Yes.
Ibrahima did a great job. Ibrahima, what you don't know is Ibrahima, this is his first week of practicing with us in the last 3 weeks. So for him, he's really, is rusty. So I think his best basketball for us is still ahead of him, because as he starts to get more minutes, extended minutes, I think he's only going to get better and better for us, because like I said, he was out most of the preseason practices for us. And so it's good to see him get out there and get some minutes, because we weren't sure if he would even get that many minutes. And so to get, 10 minutes tonight, I think continues his momentum. We'll be off tomorrow. He can continue to recover and be ready to go, on Wednesday.
You've got a big early test on Friday at Miami. What does your team need to do to be successful in that one? And do you have any, early thoughts on playing Miami? I'm sure you haven't gotten to a full scout yet, but what do you know about Miami as well?
I haven't seen Miami play this year at all. So last time, I've seen Miami is when we were scouting them last year. I know they're a talented basketball team. They always are. I know they play hard. I know they play fast. Those are things I can recall from last year. And so I'm excited to start looking at them, to be quite frank, tonight, as we start to prepare. But, they're going to be well coached and they're going to be talented.
Minnesota came in the game and for a period of time and shot some threes. They didn't drop. If they had dropped, would they have stayed in the game, or was it just the shot selection that you weren't liking?
Oh, no, I'm fine. I thought Mentos did a good job for a freshman for us. I thought he came out there. He wasn't shy. He took the shots that he had. And we're confident that he can continue to help us as we move forward through the season. It's just like you said, you look at the amount of guys we were able to play tonight, you only have 200 minutes for a team. And so it's spreading those around to guys, and especially some of our more experienced players. As we move forward, I think they need to be in there for those extended minutes and getting those reps to make sure that they're ready to go as we move forward. But I have confidence that Mentos can help us as the season progresses, just like I think a number of the freshmen can.
Do you think he's more of a volume shooter, or he's a guy who come in and make a shot immediately?
No, I think he can come in and make a shot immediately. He's shown he's capable of doing it. He just didn't make them tonight. I thought he had some good looks. He didn't make them. But he also made some good plays for us, too. I thought he passed the ball well. He had a couple, probably didn't get assists. I think guys came over and rotated and maybe knocked the ball out of guys' hands. But he gave guys really good assists for opportunities to get, easy baskets. And so he's more than just a shooter. He's a basketball player.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, Darius, congratulations on the opening night win. What did you like about your team's performance tonight?
I think we did a great job on defense. That's something that we've been talking about and preaching to our guys. The coach has been preaching on us about it heavy. So I feel like we did good, but I feel like the second half we had to clean up a lot of things.
How would you describe the chemistry with all these guys coming together tonight?
I feel like the chemistry was pretty good, although we're still learning each other, so we're going to improve and see that on film.
After all this build-up, is it just kind of nice to just finally get the first game over with?
Yeah, I feel like those first game jitters are definitely gone now, so now we're back to the drawing board and getting ready for our next game.
How'd you respond from the dunk attempt?
Hey, man, I'm definitely disappointed. It's definitely going to be less dunking and warm-ups moving forward, but, just the next play, make it up on the defensive end.
Tell us about Jaylin Sellers. You've been with him in practice. If we saw him tonight and what he can do, what did you think about his performance?
I think Jaylin did well. He didn't shoot as well as I know he can shoot, but he found ways to score, which a scorer does. He impacted on rebounding and defense, so that's all we can ask for.
As one of the returning guys on his team, how do you kind of take an extra bit of leadership or kind of a make-up for the loss of CJ for the time being?
It's just the next guy up. The next man has to be ready, and we got to build that next confidence in the guy whoever is ever up. So, Scylla, we're all being confident with him and helping him and pushing him to be better. So, because he knows opportunity is here.
But how much of a loss is it to not have CJ?
CJ is definitely a loss for us. CJ definitely helps on the defensive end and rebounding end, and definitely inside scoring. So, we just got to figure out a way to win now.
You had 9 players make their debuts today. What is it as a leader to try to make those guys gel in quickly?
Well, it starts in practice, just getting guys in positions, knowing where they're good at and where they can score the ball well, and just knowing who they are. They got to stick to who they are and be who they are, on defensively and offensively.
FIU was really pressing you guys in the second half especially. How do you think you guys handled that?
Well, we had 18 turnovers, so we didn't handle it well at all. So we'll see it a lot on film, and we got to work on that.
What worked for you guys near the end of the first half to build that big run and to kind of take a momentum going into the halftime?
I think it started with our defense. Our defense ended up leading to our offense. They press a lot, so it's hard for us to get out in transition like we want to play. So we had to make it up on defense.
How would you describe the crowd tonight? It seemed like you guys were really building off their energy.
I think the crowd was great. As we move forward, I hope that the crowd gets even stronger.
It looks like your length and physicality on defense bounces off the team. How do you plan to keep that going?
We're just in practice, making sure we're guarding hard and everyone's up on defense, making everyone better. If we take it off on defense, it's not getting our guys better on offense.
Any thoughts on Miami on Friday, going down there? Big game for you guys.
It's an opportunity for us, to make a statement in who we want to be this season. So
what do you need to do better?
For one, we definitely have to put two halves together defensively. We fouled way too much. They got to the line way too often. Definitely got to limit our turnovers.
All set.
All right, Jaylin, congratulations on the opening night win. Led the team in scoring. How would you assess your own performance in your UCF debut tonight?
I think it was pretty good. Just being able for my teammates to trust me to get to my spots. And also just helping me stay focused even though I wasn't shooting the ball as well or playing as a capability if I should be able to.
Jaylin, when we spoke on media day, you said one of your goals is to come into this team and be a leading scorer. You obviously led the team tonight. Any thoughts on that?
Not really. It's just a big thanks to our leaders and all our players on helping me get open and trusting me to make plays on the team. DJ caught a few plays for me. So I'm glad that they trust me.
What would you say you're most proud of from your team's performance tonight?
I would say how we defended well. We got some things we need to work on, but I would just point out defending in the first half.
How would you describe the communication, especially all you guys coming together in a real game situation for the first time?
I think our communication was all right. I feel like we can get way better at communicating. I feel like even though we was playing solid defense, we wasn't communicating, which caused some slip-ups throughout the game.
How is that chemistry working together against the main group? You guys learning how to play with each other and what everyone likes and stuff like that. How is that coming together?
It's a day-to-day grind. We learning each other every day. I think for the first game, us playing with each other, I feel like we played good together with our chemistry. I feel like we can do a couple things better, learning where our spots at and things like that. But
you obviously had the big time closer that had all the fans jump out of the seat. What goes through your mind after a big play like that?
Man, I just shout out Silla. He tapped the ball out to me, and I knew it was go time after that. I just wanted to get the crowd into it after that.
And you had a couple more plays where you tried to get another big play, but it didn't work out as much. Are you going to keep going for them, or are you going to relax after a big play?
Most definitely. I'm going to keep going. I ain't stopping.
How would you rank that one, that poster you had? Did you have some ones like that at Ball State, or is that how would you rank it?
Me and the guys know the best ones is in practice.
I know you and quite all the other newcomers were excited about this particular moment. So how would you say that the debut for you and your teammates lived up to the hype?
I feel like we was good, but I just feel like the best is yet to come. I feel like we got a lot of things that we need to work on, but for the most part, I feel like we came out good, but we can be better, most definitely.
You say you have a lot you think you guys need to work on. Can you elaborate on what you think that is?
I would say communicating on defense. Also, just not turning the ball over, coming back to help our guard and things like that. I feel like some of that came from our turnovers, and also being more patient when we got the ball in our hand, being more poised down the stretch and things like that.
What does it mean for this team not to have C.J. Walker for an extended period of time?
It's a hurt, but next man up. We love CJ and we still keeping him in our prayers and just playing for CJ until he gets back.
You and Shamari tied with 3 steals to lead the team. What do you take it as pride in the defensive end of the court?
I most definitely take pride in defense. It keeps me going. On rather getting rebounds, staying engaged in defense, and just knowing going the next play and things like that. Just staying active, keeping me engaged in the whole game.